Imagine this. Millions of years ago, the Earth was a very different place. Dinosaurs roamed the land. Everything was peaceful. Well, as peaceful as it can be with giant, toothy reptiles running around. And life seemed unstoppable. Then, out of nowhere, boom! A rock from space, big enough to redefine bad day, crashes into the planet and triggers absolute chaos. We're talking about the kind of chaos that makes even the wildest disaster movie look tame. You've probably heard this story before. Dinosaurs wiped out by a massive asteroid, right? But new research is showing us that the reality of what happened on that catastrophic day is way more intense than we ever imagined. And get this, it's not just the impact that makes your skin crawl. There's an even crazier revelation. We might know where that asteroid came from and gulp whether we're on track for a sequel. Yep, NASA's onto something pretty wild. So buckle up, because we're about to dive into the disaster that almost wiped out life on Earth and the possibility that it could happen again. Okay, let's set the scene. Picture yourself living 65 million years ago. You're chilling in what's now North America, just watching the night sky. Suddenly, you notice a bright star off in the distance. Cool, right? Wrong. That star is actually a colossal asteroid hurtling towards Earth at 72,000 kilometers per hour. And no, it's not slowing down. At first, it's just a tiny light in the sky, but after a couple of hours, that light is getting bigger, much bigger, and brighter. What would you do if you saw that? Panic? Hide? Hope for the best? Not that it would have mattered much, because by the time this thing tore through the atmosphere, it was game over for pretty much everything in its path. The dinosaurs didn't stand a chance. Neither would we if something like that happened today. This wasn't just a rock falling from space. This was a planet-altering, history-making event. The asteroid, known as the Chicxulub impactor, was about the size of a small mountain. It hit the atmosphere so fast it barely even slowed down, just 3 seconds to plow through all 60 miles of air above us. 3 seconds. You ever throw a rock into a puddle and watch it splash? Now imagine throwing a boulder into a kiddie pool. That's what Earth's atmosphere was like for this asteroid. Splash doesn't even begin to describe it. The Chicxulub asteroid slammed into the shallow waters near the Yucatan Peninsula with a force that's almost impossible to wrap your head around. The energy released was 1 septillion, 300 sextillion kilojoules. Yeah, I know, that number is bonkers. For some perspective, that's more energy than 1 billion Hiroshima atomic bombs. Let that sink in. We're talking temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun, vaporized rock and sea, and a fireball of plasma expanding outwards faster than you can blink. If you were standing anywhere near the impact zone, let's say Central America, you wouldn't have just seen the asteroid hit. You would have heard it too. Well, assuming your eardrums weren't obliterated by the mother of all sonic booms, that is, the sound alone would have been enough to terrify any creature unlucky enough to witness the event. And the chaos didn't stop there. Remember, this is a mountain-sized asteroid we're talking about, so the destruction wasn't localized to just one spot. Nope, this thing set off a chain reaction of disasters across the globe. Imagine earthquakes so powerful they sent shockwaves through the Earth's crust, tsunamis hundreds of feet tall slamming into coastlines, and wildfires spreading faster than you could ever outrun. The waves caused by the impact were the size of skyscrapers. Within hours, tsunamis hundreds of feet high smashed into the coastlines of what is now Mexico and the southern US. The waves were so massive they even reversed the flow of rivers, pushing water upstream like something straight out of an apocalypse movie. But it wasn't just North America getting hammered. Within hours, the tsunami waves reached Europe, Africa, and Asia, wiping out anything in their path. Picture entire coastlines obliterated in a matter of hours. Now multiply that by every major landmass on Earth. And here's the really insane part. As if giant tsunamis and planet-shaking earthquakes weren't enough, the sky started raining fire. Yes, fire. Millions of chunks of glass-like rock, called tektites, were launched into space during the impact, only to come screaming back down to Earth. These fiery missiles, some as large as buses, didn't just pelt the Earth at 200 miles per hour. They also heated the planet to broiler oven levels as they fell. Entire forests caught fire, and most of the world's trees burned. If you were a dinosaur, well, good luck. By now, you're probably thinking, okay, that sounds bad, but surely things started to calm down after that, right? Nope, not even close. The final nail in the dinosaur's coffin came when all that debris, oil, sulfur, rock, was ejected into the atmosphere. This toxic cocktail blocked out the sun, plunging the Earth into a deep freeze that lasted for years. Global temperatures dropped by 50 degrees. Rainfall? Almost non-existent. Most of the planet turned into a frozen desert. If it wasn't already bad enough, now even the plants were dying. It's no wonder almost everything larger than a house cat went extinct. Only creatures that could burrow, swim, or hide managed to survive the apocalypse that followed. That's why animals like crocodiles, turtles, and small mammals made it, while the dinosaurs didn't. In the end, the asteroid didn't just wipe out the dinosaurs, it hit the reset button on life itself. So, where did this nightmare rock come from? Well, some researchers think they have the answer. According to a study, the Chicxulub asteroid may have come from the Oort cloud, a massive field of debris at the edge of our solar system. This theory suggests it wasn't just any random rock, but part of a larger comet that got kicked out of its orbit by Jupiter's gravity. It's the kind of cosmic slingshot that makes you realize how small we are in the grand scheme of things. And here's the kicker. This sort of thing isn't a once-in-a-lifetime event. In fact, scientists estimate that Earth gets hit by giant asteroids every 250 to 730 million years. If that sounds like a long time, just remember, it's not if another asteroid will hit us, it's when. That's right, we might be due for another space rock disaster. And guess what? On December 11th, 2021, an asteroid named 4660 Nereus buzzed past Earth at a distance of just 3.8 million kilometers. That's 2.4 million miles, practically a cosmic close call. But here's where things get really interesting. Nereus will be back on February 14th, 2060. Yep, just in time to ruin your Valentine's Day plans. Now, before you start stockpiling canned goods, NASA is working on a solution. Ever heard of the DART mission? It stands for Double Asteroid Redirection Test, and it's basically NASA's first shot at asteroid defense. The plan? Smack a spacecraft into a small asteroid to see if we can nudge it off its course. This mission is targeting a small asteroid called Dimorphos. Will it work? We'll find out soon enough. Here's the thing though, stopping a 330-meter rock like Nereus is one thing, but a mountain-sized asteroid like Chicxulub? We're talking nuclear bombs-level intervention. Maybe you've got some ideas on how to save the world from a giant space rock. If so, drop them in the comments. Who knows? You might just become the hero we need. So, what do you think? Are we doomed to repeat history, or will technology save the day? One thing's for sure, space is a wild place, and we've got plenty more to discover. If you enjoyed this dive into cosmic disasters, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more mind-blowing content from our universe. Thanks for watching.